Hello!
Hey everybody, we are here a little bit late, but that's my bad. Sorry.
2 minutes, and there's a time zone shift, so in some places we're like 10 minutes early. That's how time zones work, right?
Sure, yeah, absolutely, 100% yes.
100%.
Not at all.
We're talking
Um,
Orville!
we are talking Orville. The last two episodes of season two, which I didn't really feel like were a two-parter, but they kind of were.
Because I watched them
Um,
actually as one part, give us 5 minute pee break, second part, and you watch them like you meant to watch them
yeah,
wait a week, next week. So we have a different context.
yeah. I was just wondering how it was going to play out after the end of the first one. I'm like,
Yeah.
wonder how that's going to impact what's going to happen next. But
Lots.
yeah.
Is the short answer, and it's sad. This is our last season. It's our last of the season review, and it could be our last ever review of Orville. We'll see.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of a franchise ender and a show ender and a season ender, if they so need it to be, you know.
That's depressing. Thanks, Samuel.
No, but it's good. I mean, it's not good, but you know. Okay, well, I'll ask you this brief intro question before we even got people, because I just want to know. Do you think it ended on a high note?
Do you think it ended on a high note?
The season, yeah.
Yes. They kind of did their mirror universe kind of thing, and yeah, it was interestingly played for sure. So had a very Star Wars vibe to it, but we'll get to that when we get to the episode. Yeah. Oh, Jeff Jacobs is here. He's back. He's been gone for a while, so thank you, Jeff. 24 people watching. The chat's not active unless my chat's just not working. Let me refresh.
I got people chatting. Dark Lord says hello is early. Hello.
I got nothing on my chat. There it is. Now it's working.
Dale says he's surprised, we're impressed how different they made Kelly look, and a lot of different acting. Yeah, very fair.
Excuse me.
And Raj says, hello, fellow Trekyards and Orvillians from England, UK. Hey, hey! England.
England, the country so full of itself, it decided to spread itself all over the planet and just screw up everybody's cultures.
No. Short but sweet reply there.
Wow. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I mean, you're Canadian, you're not writing anything.
Well, we're English junior. We're English light, so...
That's true.
Anyway.
I'm going to share this while you talk to the people.
Fine. Hi, people. How's it going? Yeah, so these two episodes are very interesting. It's a very good take on the premise of time travel and stuff. And I really like the way they were handled. I thought it was definitely going to end differently. At the end of the season, I thought it was going to be some kind of cliffhanger. But then again, considering they don't know they're getting season 3, I think it was the best thing that they could do to do what they did. So, Cap, bring that up again and we will vote on that. Bring what up again? Oh, whether we... Okay, yeah, no, I shouldn't have said it in the first place. My bad. I just love bugging Samuel. I just forgot we were live in front of the world. Captain Foley, you must demote Commander Hawkins, I don't know who he is, for daring to suggest there won't be a season 3. Wow, he didn't suggest it. He was just, being a realist, because we honestly haven't heard whether there's going to be one yet. Actually, yesterday he was saying chances are good that they might be going to get a couple season renewal contract instead of just one, so they could actually have a framework to set up storylines and stuff. So
because normally this sort of it doesn't make much sense why it's taken this long. There's other interesting reasons there must be other reasons afoot, and obviously the big one being that they swapped companies and who bought them out. But
yeah.
I don't know if you looked, but when they did the merger or the buyout, the Orville was actually in the trailer for the new Fox, bought by Disney.
Oh, really?
Yeah, quite a few. Because, I mean, it's the only show that has, it's the only space show with good VFX and good, it's the only space show. And so it'd be very weird to highlight a show you're not renewing as one of your premiere pieces. It had, 4 or 5 clips in a relatively short trailer. And so I'm not overly concerned. I just think that a lot of negotiation, because they'd like to you know, I'm sure, like I said yesterday, there's some double negotiation where, well, do you want to keep Family Guy going? Well, or do you want me to keep Family Guy going? Well, I want more Orville seasons, and then hey, we'll give you a, you know, 75% of your budget, but for 2 seasons,
and
yeah.
Yeah, I see Jill Wright is here. She says, "Greetings, Trekkies. What's up?" And Jill sent us $2 yesterday on PayPal and said hello. And I didn't see it until after the live had ended, so I apologize, Jill, for missing out on that. But I'm calling you out today for doing that. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated for the support. So I need that. I read that Seth MacFarlane may stop making something in order to do other projects and then go back to it later. Yeah.
He's got American Dad and Family Guy at the same time right now, which is
apparently there's talk of a Family Guy movie as well. So if he steps out to do that, I could see his character actually leaving Orville and him leaving it in the hands of somebody else for a season or two and then coming back to it.
What's tricky is he does write a lot of it, and it is his baby. Like, because you can just take a year not doing a show. I mean, Battlestar Galactica took a random 7-month gap, and Game of Thrones took an extra year to make it. So you can say Orville back in 2021. We're like, oh, okay. But if they get a multiple season order, then it's like you said, if there's a Family Guy movie or something really big he wants to do in between, then he can negotiate whatever, and then do, you know. But I mean, you know, they could just take the Orville to some other company. I mean, I'm sure other ones would possibly do it. Although, again, its formula doesn't quite work because its viewers are pretty low comparatively. But I think a lot of viewers are relatively low nowadays. You don't get that many blockbuster shows anymore because everything's so spread out. You know, it's not just torrenting or look at it on cable. It's, well, do you watch it on Netflix or Hulu? All these different things are taking people's time, that not as many people watch things as they're going on. And obviously, if it's not on the cable, they don't tend to release the numbers. And it's like Netflix doesn't have to release their numbers for anything because they own everything. So it's like, how well did this show do? Yeah. But they kept it going. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely a different culture we live in than a few years ago where they could track television watcher viewership, because now there's PVRs and different streaming services. You can watch it anytime. A lot of people wait till the seasons are finished before they just binge watch it. So it skews all the numbers and statistics. So it's really hard to say. But
you would assume that if it's only watchable on, say, the Fox online service, they'd have exact numbers. You know what I mean? There's no reason to release them. But you would think if they can get a fan base, a dedicated fan base that will keep watching it year on year. I mean, they said the Supernatural numbers were going down a little bit each year, but it was the same core that was keeping it going. And guess what? They had 13 seasons because they had a good core they kept appealing to that kept them going for a lot of years. Like if Orville really pushed out and made costumes and made the toys and made the ships and really pushed marketing push, and I think it could definitely be a lot bigger than it is. Because the framework's there, although it certainly needs, I think, a slight tonal adjustment for season 3. But
and speaking of viewership and the framework being there, guys, keep in mind that if you want to get your voice heard, your question answered, your comment read, super chats are a good way to do that. It also supports the channel, so and it definitely makes us want to come back and do more content like this, because we really need it right now as far as support goes for the channel. Either that or join us on Patreon, our monthly subscription service, which again is a huge backbone of the channel. So if you are able and would like to, super chats are greatly appreciated. And of course, I knew after I said that, Joseph Petrick puts in €2. Hey, Fleet guys, did you send out the notification? Yes, the notification should have been flying out all day. I should have put it up last night like I was going to, but I completely forgot. So don't hit me, Samuel. I'm going to put the one up tonight for Thursdays. So hopefully that'll give us a lot of build up for that. So
yes. But yeah, like I said, do super chat, because you know we did all the original reviews and they weren't very well viewed. Then we had the big comeback and then really well viewed. Looks as if people aren't necessarily going to come back for these ones. I guess we just didn't know. I mean, these weren't exactly promoting these weeks in advance, but hopefully more people will peter in and enjoy, and after fact enjoy too. But this, you know, in terms of quality TV, these two are certainly a good set of quality TV. I give them all credit for that. So how do you summarize then this first episode story in a nutshell?
What, the synopsis or just my interpretation of it? What are you looking for?
Just like yesterday, the brief synopsis, and I'll give the synopsis for episode 2, and then we'll.
They're messing with things in the engineering department, and they accidentally do some kind of time travel swap. They bring Kelly from the past into the future. So there's two Kellys, the younger one and the present one, and yeah, they find a way to get her back and hopefully erase her memories. So she'll actually go on that second date with Captain Ed Mercer, and of course she does go back to the past, but it doesn't take, and she says no to a second date, and it's like left hanging right there. It's like dun dun dun. How will this affect things? So,
Yeah.
and Eugene puts in 1,000 rubles and says hi. Well, thank you, Eugene.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. So this is an
Yes.
interesting episode for me because I spoke to this good chap here, Mark Jackson or Jake. Sorry, I don't remember his name fully, but I only met him once. Who plays Isaac, and obviously he had the big identity. We just watched that. We interviewed him for that, and they said just wait. Season 2 finale is going to be even bigger, and so that could be any expectation. I know I called out to you as soon as identity happened that this is really just the setup for the bigger finale of the Krill being allies, and then that would be whatever. And so I was obviously waiting with reasonably high expectations. So the fact this was a complete alternate idea was refreshing to me, because it's a classic tale, but again done in the Orville way. I think they certainly took the other approach, which you don't normally see. I think part 1's a lot better than part 2, but there's reasons.
Really?
Reasons for that. Although it also isn't. You are right. It isn't part 1, part 2. It's setup story, payoff story. But it is very much its own thing. But I like this one a lot more, and I think overall this one's a really, really good episode for sure. Just because it takes a different approach, and it felt fresh, for time travel. What do you think?
Yeah, it was a neat premise, bringing somebody from the past into the future, and meeting their future selves, and it was really interesting as well, the dynamic between the young Kelly and Ed, because getting a second chance with her. I mean, they start the episode off talking about their relationship and trying to make it work again, and of course she's of the opinion that as long as we're captain and commander, it's going to jeopardize that's why you and I can't date, Samuel, because it jeopardizes. I wouldn't send you on an away mission. But so it made for an interesting story for sure, and it was a neat approach to time travel. It wasn't the typical whole ship getting thrown back in time or something like that. So I liked it.
It was kind of almost the smallest time travel you could have done, but it's never normally that way around. Bringing someone from the past into the future.
Yeah.
Because normally in time travel logic, if you bring someone in from the past, them not being there has changed the future. And the fact, we had Discovery talk of time travel, but the fact that they pulled her out and things didn't change, only when they put her back did things change. Like it's a weird time mechanics, but it's still quite. I was sort of dimension pulled from a different universe and la la la. But I mean, just the acting. I said to you so many times, Kelly has nothing to do, but she absolutely killed it in this episode. I thought both personas very strong, very different, a lot of nuance, a lot of time. And to play a genuinely, 10 years younger self with all the experience lost or never gained, she did a damn good job. It shows her range as just playing a woman in the sense that you can play very different, So I just it was good. But what did you think? I guess when it started, although I didn't actually realize that the machine is the one they did bananas in the first episode. I didn't.
Oh, is it? I didn't notice that either. They just said that.
They call it out. It's like the doctor this did it, and I'm like, just a random doctor. But no, it's literally the thing from the first episode that aged bananas. They've had it for 2 years and they've finally made a time device outfit.
Oh, well, that's cool. Yeah. That was a nice tie-in then. I didn't notice that, but
it's real subtle. But what do you think of the start of were you surprised?
Well, I am now, yes. I didn't understand. I'd only seen this one once, and I didn't really get the whole conversation about what they were trying to accomplish and what actually happened. Just she flashed into existence like, oh, okay, time travel thing. I didn't really hear the first part because I don't know what I was doing. But one of the reasons that I didn't think this was necessarily a two-parter is because the episode title for this one is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. And then for the next one is The Road Not Taken. Usually it's part 1 or part 2, right? So But no, looking back on it, I mean, I love that it's incorporating the piece of tech from season 1, episode 1. That's actually kind of cool. But yeah, I didn't get the reason why they were doing it. It's up.
Okay, so I did know. I did listen.
Okay, good. That's good.
Simple thing is that this tech, obviously they got attacked in the other one, and I guess the doctor died. And they had it on the ship, and Isaac's just been tinkering with it as you do, and Lamar's been tinkering. It's just a project, but he said he's got surprising close recently. They're still quite far away from making it a time thing, and then suddenly the ship gets hit by this distortion, which basically activates it, powers it, activates it, does an unexpected thing. Because it was later on they say, I was actually way closer than I thought, Mr. Isaac, and so that causes a time jump, just because the two colliding at the same place at the same time, and then pulls her in, and everyone is damn confused. And Isaac is like, "Whoa, I was wrong. It's more finished than I thought. Huh? Maybe not as smart as I think."
Yeah, it would have been kind of cool if they could incorporate a way to pull in Gordon's love interest from the girly.
That
would have been kind of neat too.
Well, the thing is, we've opened up a door. Just like another thing we're going to talk about this week. Opened up a door you can't close. Now they've got time-ish abilities. Okay, maybe it destroys the Orville sometimes, but there's a reason for that. And you can fix the past and all these things. So if you've got a time device, I mean, I'm sure they'll use it. Just like they use the Guardian of Forever.
Yeah.
But I was surprised, because Orville's quite an advanced thing, but they don't have teleporters for a reason, a narrative reason. So to even time travel, I was very surprised. I was like, ooh, I love time travel stories, but to go right into time travel, I was, huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's my reaction.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, what do you think of the younger Kelly? I mean, it's just a wig. I was kind of like underwhelmed. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if she played off the I can't even say the word.
Naivete?
Naivete, yes, thank you. Quite as good as she could have. I mean,
well, the performance changes drastically throughout the episode, based on how she's feeling. I mean, here's a picture of her in the mess hall with the people, and her cadence is completely different. She's now a more confident officer and feels more the part. So I think it's more. I mean, how would you react? Seriously, I mean, you can't, as an actor, how do you even rectify how you'd play this and think you might be stuck with your future self in a parallel universe, sort of. It's always So I was totally fine with it, and I think, for me personally, I've always liked Kelly a lot in different ways, and I think the younger one's more cute and bubbly, and I like cute bubbly people, so I was like, I liked her. I can see why Ed liked her, and then now for the first time since the season started, I can now see in comparison the current Kelly, her hair is so back and sleek, and it's like, she's uptight. Guess how tight her hair is? Really tight. Metaphor, and then just the wavy fun. So I was like, I like the old one, well, the younger one. Yeah.
Yes. I like the maturity level of the older one, but I like the look of the younger one a little bit. It was quite clearly a wig, and that kind of bugged me. But whatever. What are they gonna do? They can't really do much else that way. So I don't know. It was just a small pet peeve of mine. I do like curly hair, and there's some curls. So.
But she did feel like she'd still look younger. I think it was a well done wig. It was a expensive wig. Like it did genuinely de-age her a ton of years. I mean, her acting, like I said, was much more bouncy. So I mean, she put it in the performance. But I thought she did a great job. Obviously this episode is a weirdly focused one, because the time travel bit is dealt with instantly, and they find a problem. Okay, it's not too difficult, but I bought it. It wasn't like whatever. It really is just about the relationship. So it's a very unusual. That's what I meant by saying it's a fresh approach. It's like the time travel stuff was the easy bit. It's the how do you. It almost was just all about making current Ed appreciate current Kelly, because he's moved on past young Kelly, and the whole complicated time travel story just to make him appreciate that. It's a character building story via a complicated time travel device and all these things, but it's actually just a character building thing for Ed and Kelly.
Yeah. Well, Joseph Petrick puts in 2 euros and says Charlize Theron, when she was on, was a time traveler, so it's not it's not a precedence. So this isn't the first time travel issue we've had with Orville.
Sure. But she was from the future and could do time travel, is what I meant. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. Did they ever really explain how it locked onto Kelly specifically? Was it just because she was in the room, or?
Yes, exactly. Because she was in the room, it locked into her because she was thinking of, because they were explaining how time is linked to thought, in that time is only relative from your perspective, and so you could only travel based on perspectives that you can sort of understand. And so at that point she was thinking back to young her and young Ed, and then it pulled in young her
and what could have been, because she would just had a first date with him in the past. So
having to pull on that night,
yeah. Okay, that makes sense then.
But it was good, and it's just fun just to see Ed and Kelly very much on the same side, but young Kelly is like, I don't understand. And it's just really well written. Like it's all drama, character stuff, but it's like it's just interesting premise, and to see all the dynamics are different. You know, her with Tyler is like, oh, they're BFFs now because she's now the right age to be friends.
Yeah. One thing that I remember talking to Sylvia about when we were watching this was the similarities between this and Thomas Riker versus William Riker. Kind of, they were the same age, of course, but with Thomas being trapped on the planet, he
a couple of years younger.
Well, things that could have been, like, the relationship with Deanna Troi and stuff. There are a lot of parallels as far as that goes with these two.
And the next episode is Parallels from TNG.
Really?
No.
But so I mean, I thought that was really interesting. That's the first thing that I latched onto once there were the two Kellys talking back and forth about. And you got to put yourself in that situation, even with the Riker thing. Dealing with yourself, you'd be kind of pissed off, I think, especially a younger version of yourself, because they think they know everything and they're indestructible. You got a lot more experience under your belt. It'd be like talking to it's like talking to my children. They think they know everything, and it's just wow. But yeah, it's a great concept to think about, how you would deal with yourself. It just blows your mind.
And it was more, obviously, yes, it's the same episode with Riker, although that was sciencey rather than time travel-y, and this also has greater implications. I think this was slightly more nuanced, because I think the Riker one devolved a little bit more into just him trying to go out after Troi, and more about our Riker. This one was more about young Kelly, yes, a relationship, but also a lot about her goals. You know, it was a lot more about the repercussions of it beyond this episode, whereas Riker was more about just this episode, and but yeah, I mean, it's certainly parallel. I think it's very well done.
And John R. Keki puts in $2 and says pineapple. I'm confused.
I know that means something.
I don't know.
Minkin2 says, how different can Kelly be in years? Most people in adulthood do not change that much in such a short space of time. They just become more realistic.
Oh, it was 7 years, so.
I mean, the problem is, though, look at the 7 years she had. She was just a young officer, didn't have a command, didn't have a ship yet, no real field experience, got married, got divorced, had a bad relationship, got on several ships, left several ships, got in second in command, had 2 years second in command. So she's had to grow up a lot. So it's not so much that she's just different because years, it's because she had all the major life experiences have happened in the last 7 years that the young one has had none of. So that's shaped her, I think, to quite a different person, not so much just because time. You know, if you don't do anything in those 7 years, okay, you're the same person, roughly, just older. But if you change everything about your life, okay, you're a different person. You know, it's how you look at life, look at the world.
Yeah, like you look at yourself 7 years ago. You know, if you would have told me that I'd have, care about what we think, I'd be like, you're crazy. But here we are. I mean, lots changed in 7 years, so damn.
Pretty much.
So yeah, I mean, and that comes into play later. This relationship they have of her being second in command, and then the younger version telling all these embarrassing stories to the rest of the crew, and it's like you got to keep that under wraps because there's a certain amount of decorum that I have to have and distance from the crew that they can't be like buddy buddy with me. That would be embarrassing for sure. That was played off really well because yeah, your younger self wouldn't even think of that. You want to make friends, you want to, you know, you want to fit in, and you're being told that by yourself that you can't do that. Like it would be such an awkward situation for both of them. So that was played really well, actually.
It was just a good sort of social experiment. Like I say, I like it when they take a concept and they fully realize it, and they fully realize what this would be like for these people.
Yeah.
And I do like the video game scene with Ed and Gorn. It's just fun.
That was cool. I was like, that would be cool to be able to do. Have just holographic fighters in your room doing the. That was really well done, yeah.
And also, I like that because Gordon is the younger. He acts a lot younger than he is. So I think this is very on purpose because Ed is also 7 years older. He's not, if she's, I don't know what age they're all trying to be, because she doesn't. She's trying to look like I guess in her 20s, but then Kelly feels like she's older than her 30s, based on the command path. But why would that hairstyle and that young be at 32? Doesn't quite seem, you know what I mean. But I think the reason to have him do this scene is because what more childish and young early thing is in playing video games, and she walks into, so Kelly's like, oh, this is my old Ed. It's like he's never done this and he hates it, he's bad at it. That's the old thing. All she sees is cool, he's playing a young person's game. And then she asks him out, and it's adorable. It's adorable.
It is.
And it's heartwarming because Ed's been trying to get with her consistently for good reasons in the right way all season. Never tries to push it too far, never tries whatever, but there's always this they're obviously two good friends, as in really, really good friends, but just, and so it is, you do feel nice for him, because like, well, this K doesn't want me, I've learned, I mean, it's weird as hell, but I mean, most people don't get a time travel chance, and I can be better this time, so I think it was kind of heartwarming, really.
And Captain Spire puts in $5. What if I told you 7+ years ago there was a fan-made ring warp starship that looks like a lot like the Orville, USS Felix from Trek Wars, the furry conflict. If you had told me that 7 years ago, I would have been like, okay, this guy's crazy. So I still don't know what you're talking about. But yeah. It kind of raises the question too. Remember with Claire and Isaac, how he basically scanned her file and knew everything about her?
Yes.
It has the same kind of vibe to it because Ed would know pretty much everything there is to know about her, and be able to hit all the right buttons, if you want to say that, and just really impress her. And it's kind of a cheat.
That's so true. They didn't actually harp on that at all. There's only the moment with the lingerie thing. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that from 7 years ago. She's like, damn it, it was meant to be a surprise. It's like, you can't. Yeah. But you're right. I mean, they never play it off. I mean, 7 years is a long time to forget things as well. And since you're used to one version of Kelly, she is so different in terms of like what she, But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised I didn't bring that up because he would know her favorite drink, her favorite her favorite. I think I get maybe Ed was just too like, let's start fresh, I'll just start from scratch again, because I got that kind of vibe. He's so like an innocent puppy of like, oh yeah.
Every time you say innocent puppy in regards to Seth MacFarlane, I think of Brian, who's not an innocent puppy at all.
No, he's the worst puppy ever. And what do you think of him approaching Kelly and actually asking, and how that tonally was? Because she said it's fine.
Well, that was kind of an awkward scene. It's like asking the parents for permission to date somebody, but yeah, I don't know how I would feel as far as Kelly goes. I mean, there might be some kind of jealousy there as well. And again, that ties into the Riker and Thomas Riker and William Riker thing, like Thomas Riker dating Troy was like, would you be jealous of yourself? It just, you would be, because that's how human nature is, because it's not you with them, but it is you with them, just you're not experiencing it. So it's odd and awkward, and it was an interesting scene, and I'm glad he did go ask her permission though without just going ahead and doing it, because it just reinforces that his guy persona,
Yeah.
because it is the right thing to do in that situation. Not that that's ever going to happen in real life, but
No.
it's one of those things that just doesn't come up.
I mean, at least that probably tells us that he doesn't, like, go do naughty things in the Hollow Suite with holographic Kelly. There are, he's a good guy. But at the same token, as soon as I was watching the scene, I thought, yeah, this is one of those things where the girl says no, says yes, she doesn't mean yes. You have to look, this is girl manipulation tactic 101. You can't take this at face value. She's lying. What are you on about? Don't. But obviously he doesn't see that. But it's like, you can't, it just doesn't.
He's saying that women are manipulative,
Yes.
Samuel? Well, that's not fair to say.
It is.
Sometimes when they say yes, they mean yes.
And sometimes they don't.
Yes. It's true. It's just you need
anyway,
to have the wisdom built up to know which is
yes. Anyway, they kiss. It's lovely, adorable.
Aww.
And then Kelly comes and rains on the parade. But young Kelly actually rains back on the other parade. It's a really fun conversation, actually.
Mm-hmm. Again, being pissed off at yourself. I mean,
yep.
Weird thing. And then the dance club scene, and this I can totally relate to. I've never been one for going to clubs ever, but the older I get, the less I enjoy things like that. So I love how he's sitting there like, yeah, this isn't enjoyable anymore. You've seen the younger kids doing their thing. I can totally relate to that. I've been in that situation many times. I just don't enjoy that kind of interaction. So,
and that's why it's kind of fun that however this 30s woman can instantly feel so much younger. That's why they again, the acting's really good there, and you get someone with Tyler and you can feel the pendulum swing here instantly. It's like, oh, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
This isn't gonna work. And obviously the best moment of the episode, the Porter's dance, because that's Orville humor I want. It's dumb, it's stupid, it's wonderful, it's great.
Yeah.
Although still surprises with Clyde, and obviously, because boy, they are testing them to the nth degree. But well, dancing makes everything better.
I guess, yeah. And then the Claire talk. This was interesting. Did you notice their drinks and the bottle? It's always the same level of color. So the bottom of the glass has the red, even when it's empty. So when you pour that, do the colors mix in the glass properly? Usually you have to anyway.
Space
not
drinks.
A big deal.
Space drinks.
Am I thinking too much into it? That's our job.
Don't know. It was a good scene. And then the we almost did it scene, and this is a bit cringy, but it's like nice cringe, but it's like big moment for Ed. It's like it's not that I don't just want Kelly, the concept of Kelly. I actually want my Kelly.
The Kelly that I know so well.
After we've grown together, Kelly. It's not just the idea; it's the actual existence of. So I like that. It was again, good guy as far as you can be, and yeah.
Yeah. Then I love how they get alerted to an issue and they come to on their robes. Again, realism of being called last in the middle of the night. But I mean, what happens if you get you have to go on screen if you're wearing your pajamas? I don't know. It just feels awkward to me. That's why I never even when I'm at home, I'm never just in my pajamas. I always have to be dressed just in case somebody comes to the door or I have to go out in an emergency. So, but I kind of love it. It's kind of fun that they did that.
Yes. Let me get. There's way too many asteroid scenes in these two-parter. There's like 4. This one, I assumed that this would be massive, that they were going to get trapped in the ice and frozen, and then be in the future as like a plot twist, and then have to get back in the next episode. And so I was like, oh, they escaped. So it's a bit anticlimactic for me.
I didn't even think that while they were doing this scene.
It just seems such a cool idea.
And I love how it was a younger Kelly's idea.
Yes.
Like something the older Kelly wouldn't have considered because of her experience, but the younger one because of this. It's just that was really well played because you do think differently than you did 7 years ago.
And the Kaelons came back, and actually we learned that the smaller ships are actually in the bigger ships, which I liked seeing because I didn't get that from the previous versions. That was nice. But that's still a threat, and that's a beautiful double ringed thing, planetoid. That's great. Really.
Yeah, it was kind of tense seeing the ships flying by the frozen Orville. They powered down all their systems, of course, but still, it was like, oh, that was really well done, I think. Then, of course, they find a way to send her back, but there's still an issue because she knows everything that she currently knows.
Yeah, it's weird they just risked everything to tell her everything. It's like, I mean, right away, tell her everything. This isn't a problem, maybe, but okay.
Yeah. But of course, we've got Claire who's like, oh, we can erase your memory so that it'll be fine. And yeah, well, it's happened before in Star Trek. But of course, it doesn't pan out, doesn't work. And I gotta say, the thing they put on her head to erase your memories, very, very similar to what we see on Chekhov in Star Trek 4. Even the front, even the top part that was made from a Klingon D7 engineering section, they have the similar kind of look there, but more modernized. That's one thing I noticed.
Nice. I do like this scene because she's saying goodbye, and Ed apologizes for old him and what he's about to do. He gets really somber, and it's again touching. It's like we're sending you back to be a sort of abused. I mean, it's it's life. It's no one had any malice, but obviously she's also right here with me now, so it's like, and yeah, they use all the power in the ship. It can do it. It's just risky, but do it and send it back. Oh.
On that note, the picture of Yaphet doing his thing. How does he see the controls? Does he have eyes in his tentacles?
Yes.
Okay.
He hasn't got eyes in general. I'm assuming he can see out of every pore of his slime, so if his slime is up there, he can see through it.
Fine. Yeah. Just something Sylvie and I were talking about when that happened. It's like,
It's always good when he's in it, because like that's an expensive shot to do, but they just do it whenever. Yeah, whenever. Good. And they send her back, and she's awake. Or like, what's happening? And then a nice cheery Ed calls, and she's like, no. And he's like, what? And end of episode. Cliffhanger.
And you're not sure why she said no. We didn't know she got her memories back. It could have just been like a gut reaction, a gut feeling. Of course, next episode we do learn that she did remember everything. But it was a good way to end it because I was like, literally, are they just going to ignore this? And in the next episode, they're just not going to have that relationship between the two of them. They're still captain and commander, or how's this going to play out? And well, we're going to find out in a second because we're going to talk about that episode. So
yeah, now, guys, your chance to super chat and let us know what you thought of the episode. Give us a review score, and we'll read those out. But your closing summary on this episode, Stuart, episode 13 of 14 of Orville Season 2.
Fun episode. Great premise. Again, it's kind of very reminiscent of this TNG episode with Riker, but interestingly done. Great take on time travel and well acted, I think. Well played on everybody's part. And I was very satisfied with the resolution. I thought it flowed very well. Pacing was good, stuff like that. I would honestly give it a 8 out of 10 as far as Orville goes.
So what were the buts then? Because all those things are positives, and yet, what's the but then?
I don't know if there'd really be one. I mean, there was no real side story in this episode. It's one thing I noticed, which I kind of missed. It would have been nice to see more character development of somebody else, like maybe Lamar. But
no, well, he got a decent amount to do though. He was the guy that was engineering. I mean, out of all the characters,
true.
I mean, what's his name? Gordon didn't get anything, but Lamar got. I mean, that's the thing. He's brought him and needs to be, but he's always like a smart guy when he does. So I appreciate that at least he was right there with Isaac doing the science, which
Hmm.
puts him on a damn high level. I mean, they
Yeah.
give him all the respect he deserves in terms of characterization, just not in terms of like character time.
Yeah. I guess the thing I'm trying to say is I don't have a lot of issues or a lot of butts with this episode. It was very enjoyable as both as just general sci-fi, an hour of television, and was of Orville.
Just didn't
I s-
excite you.
I wouldn't, it's got an 8 out of 10. What do you want? Like, that's a good score.
Oh, I'm
Um,
just, yeah, that's
it's one I
high.
would it's one I would enjoy watching again for sure. Some I'm like
Yes.
I could go without seeing them again. This is definitely one I wouldn't mind watching again. Plus the asteroid field is really well done.
Yeah.
Hiding from the what are they called? I keep forgetting
Kaelon.
the Kaelons. Yeah, hiding from the Kaelons was a great scene. So it had some really good moments. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, for
There you
me,
go.
I think this was one of the best ones of the season. It was very, very cohesive, very, very strong, very well acted. Great great pace, and a lot of promise. I get an easy 9 out of 10, if not 9 point something. I think the second part should have been better, in my opinion, which would have made this one better. But as a setup, it's really, really good.
Mm.
I don't know what else I'd want from it to make it higher than that. I think more comedy, like a bit more made of the idea of it, because again, the season plays it too straight, plays it too serious. The Borders bit was brilliant, and you only got that from another thing, and there's bits, but I wanted more of that because you can do a lot with 7 years of being out of date,
Mm.
or bumping into another crew member, or calling an old friend and he's married to my ex. Like, there's things you could do with it that are fun. You just sort of didn't do.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's just but still, solid 9 out of 10. What do you guys
Nice.
think?
Well, Eugene puts in 1,000 rubles and
Ooh,
says,
thank you.
the scene of the Orville putting itself into the ice block was awesome. Yeah, very well done. Yeah, they're getting some a lot of 7s, 8s out of 10s. There was even a 5.5 for just general sci-fi out of 10, which I think is kind of low for this one. I thought it was really well handled as a sci-fi concept. So 9 to 9.5 in my opinion, says Raj. Kelly needs to cosplay Wonder Woman. She already has the costume. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, she just did have a Wonder Woman series, which didn't last very long, but people complained because she wore pants, didn't have a skirt. I remember that. Yeah. Does no one remember the time Odo genocided that colony? I don't. No, I don't. Must be a time paradox thing because I certainly don't remember it. This is bugging the piss out of me because I can't remember the episode name. There you go. Well, I guess that's it for people giving their scores, which is fine. It was an 8 for me, says Commander Shran. So general consensus is about where we are, so that's good.
Alrighty. So the next one, the season finale.
The finally?
And our images loaded. No, not quite loaded yet. Okay, there's a lot of images still.
Mine's
so-
loaded. You're going to say something.
Yes, so what was your overall, general, simple review of this second one then?
Loved it. I love alternate realities. I love alternate timelines, things like that. Plus, this one had in a lot of ways, a very Star Wars vibe. Even the music had a very Star Wars beat to it. So, I love the way it started too, because it's like, did they just steal a microwave? No, not really, but kind of, yes. No, this one I really liked. I do like the alternate reality thing, like I said, and seeing characters come back and just be in different situations I think was really well done. Made me wonder though about the shuttle specifically. It has the nice pristine white seats are all dirty. Like, did they actually dirty up the actual nice pristine white seats? I mean, Damn.
Well, it's the last one of the season. I mean, you've got budget in season 2 to clean the shuttle set, so probably.
I couldn't imagine doing that to a nice pristine set. I'd be like, oh.
Well, they did build a destroyed version of it in one episode. I mean, they've heard it a few times.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But we'll get to that when we get to the scene, I guess. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode. This one I have to rank higher than the last one because, again, like I said, it's a parallel universe, mirror universe kind of thing, and I like that. So,
And I'm the exact opposite. I thought it was way worse, and while a great premise, it was really, really poorly realized. And I'll get into why later. Yeah, I was really let down by it. I was really excited, and just it was a massive letdown for me. It would have been like it'd be a great Orville movie, but as an episode, it just like or as actually a two-parter. But the 50-minute just wasn't enough to tell the story, and there wasn't enough story to tell, even though there should have been.
It should have been a two-parter. This one for sure.
Yeah, so we'll get into that in a minute, but I love the idea of it, but just not the realization of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it starts with, like I say, the microwave. Great scene, beautiful.
Well, before we start with that, Jeff Jacobs puts in $5. Thank you, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey guys, over 100 watching. Awesome. Now hit like. I will pay again at 100. Make me pay, and I love the concept of this episode. So.
Yes. And guys, please do super chat because we sort of live off them. So please do. If you love Orville, it would be good because we love Orville and we think you love Orville too. That's why you're here. So a $5
Maybe they just
here,
love us.
$5 there, anything, everything. But yeah, perfect intro. Kaelon's obviously a threat. They come out of the ship and now. I think I said to you before they thought the swarms were manned. It made more sense to have because the way they are, they control things with themselves. So it made sense to me. Although instantly, and I actually laughed out loud. You got these flying heads. Fine, they can't shoot for anything. As soon as that happened, I'm like, this is unbelievable because they're obviously actively missing. Like you can't. I know it always happens, but normally you try and blend it in with a scenario that isn't as obvious. Like the Kaelons let them live. No other explanation. There's no reason they didn't get shot.
Well, it would make sense because if they're trying to track them back to the rebellion, the rest of them, or just their mothership. I'm not saying that's the case, but as a strategy goes, it's like the whole stormtroopers missing everybody on purpose in Star Wars was to let them escape and stuff. That theory, it's like, I could buy it from them, make it seem like a threat, and yet track them to their home base or their main ship or just the other rebellion members. I mean, it makes sense.
But definitely not in the episode though. But like I say, the only explanation because it's just so laughable they can't hit them. I mean, they're robots that have guns for their heads that can fly. I mean that whole piece of them is designed to kill, and they're very, very smart. They can make.
And they were running. Yeah, and they were running in a straight line. It's not like they were zigzagging.
And not as fast as you could do because they're holding a microwave, so they're not even like
through the snow. Yeah.
Yep. So it's laughable. This scene, great, but it's like, Kaelon are not. I mean, we know they're not a good threat. They kind of got ruined as a threat. How easy the ships get destroyed, how easy they get killed. They're not really a threat beyond. There's many of them that can shoot guns, but you can also kill them really easily. So not that big a threat.
Yeah. Well, it was like the Borg when they got introduced. They were terrifying, and then they just became not a threat. It just became silly.
I don't know, because the Borg were very both simple and multi-leveled. Kaelon kind of aren't. They're very much a one-dimensional. Yeah. And yet, so much tech. I mean, they literally wouldn't let people go to the planet because they were so advanced and all this stuff, and they were very technically. But that's kind of also good that there's mystique about them about being really hyper advanced. They are, and yet it doesn't quite help. I mean, how else could you argue in season 3 and 4 that the Krill, the Bortus people and the humans can defeat them? Like, you need to have a credible, like they never defeated the Borg specifically. It was always with something very ultra specialist. So they made them a lot weaker, I think, to be able to deal with them later.
Yeah, I don't know what you think about the once the heads came off and started flying. I was like, that's going to come in useful for Isaac at some point. They're going to be his body's going to get damaged in a crash, and he's going to be able to fly his head around, use it as a drone to it opens up so many possibilities. That's the one thing that went through my mind as soon as I saw their heads detach. I'm like, Isaac can do that too, so it's going to come in handy.
Yeah.
Captain Spire puts in $5. I wish they had a Riker moment where they showed it at the alternate Orville leading to the invasion where someone cried out, "They're killing us!" Drama. Well, would have been good.
Yeah.
And yeah, and Fleet Pass Swiftback puts it in $1.99. Heads flying equals stormtroopers of Orville. Yeah, they can't aim for anything. Yeah.
No, it's a little bit. It's like there's this one specific battle in Arrow which makes me laugh. It because literally is a rather small room, 10 armed, heavily armed mercenaries with assault rifles, and Team Arrow running at them, no maneuvers, and it's like I could kill them from here. I'm good enough at shooting, and all 10 of them are firing, and none of them get hit. It's like you have to be careful with how you do that sort of stuff.
It's just a trope in TV, unfortunately.
But you try and hide it. It's like there's I think it's an SNL short or something where it's like two cops in a old 80s movie, and they're like really really actiony serious, like, hey, come in or I'll kill you, and then it turns out that it's Naked Gun. It's one of the Naked Gun films, and they both got revolvers and they're both literally around the same like air vent you sit on a roof, and they stand up and just shoot each other at point blank and they can't hit.
Yeah.
Because it's just a convention, and like that's how far you can take it sometimes, and it's just like, I still can't hit you. It's like, no, you can't. Sorry, it just bugged me, this scene.
And Joseph Petrick puts in €2 and says the drones in Insurrection also had bad aim. Yeah.
Well, they got most people.
They did tag a lot of people with the transporter things.
Pretty good, really. They got Picard. They got lots of people. Pretty well.
That's because it was non-lethal. Yeah. That's why it worked with them hitting it.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Anyway, so it's a fun scene. They launch, they try and escape. Turns out there's a Kaelon ship in orbit, obviously, and then they're being chased. And hold on. Did you call right away that it was Ed and Gordon? It is Ed. Sorry, we know the episode. Yes, Ed and Gordon, dynamic duo, makes a lot of sense. And at this point, we don't know when in the timeline it is.
Yeah, well, yeah, but as soon as I saw them running, I'm like, that's probably Gordon and Ed. I said to Sylvia.
Yeah, so they're the duo you always fall back on in the show.
Yeah.
But again, you're wondering where is it in the timeline? Is it the future? Did something really bad happen? Is it the past? Who the hell knows? And this is when we get to another chase sequence. I'm like, I just saw this 15 minutes ago in the last Orville episode. I'm like, this is not. This was a waste of my time, personally. This sequence in particular was a real waste of my time.
Yeah, it's like they had unused shots from the other episode. They're like, we'll just incorporate it into this one. Pad the running time a little bit.
It's boring. Like, it's nice, but it's boring. Like, this is a massive episode, and this is a waste of time.
And this has huge shades of Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
The shuttle flying sideways through the crater, and then it's like, wow, it's almost shot for shot Star Wars.
Yeah.
John Arkeki puts in $2 and says Obama's drones had good aim.
Yep. Thanks, John.
But yeah. Anyway,
and so
again, there's going to be lots of Star Wars references in this review. So
yeah. So this didn't care. Move on. I mean, it was good, but it's just a waste of everyone's time. But then this is the perfect Orville scene. Make a Twinkie. What do you like? Perfect. Exactly the sort of scene that you have. It's cheap. It's easy. It's simple. Great. Orville. Perfect.
Yeah, that was a perfect scene. It wasn't a microwave, even though as soon as they grabbed it, I said to Sylvia, "Is that a microwave they stole?" Of course, it's a replicator. Same kind of thing, but whatever. Now, here's something that'll blow your mind. Pogo sticks, or not pogo sticks, but pogo's the food, the wiener with the corn dog.
Oh, corn dog, yeah.
Yeah, they're called pogos. That's one of the names of them. Anyway, do you realize that they're just a meat Twinkie?
Yeah.
Sorry, just had to throw that in. Yeah. Blow somebody's mind.
What do you actually think about Twinkies?
I love Twinkies. Twinkies are really good.
Yeah. Overblown. I had one, I think, a few years ago, and it's too much outer batter for me. It's too thick. The bounce isn't there. It was okay. Once you see Ghostbusters, you'll think they're amazing, the best thing ever. It's like that. They're fine. They're not great.
Nah, I love Twinkies.
Yeah. But it's a great scene.
Yes.
And
And
then
very, very in character for both of them, for sure.
and then they get tractor beamed, a la Force Awakens. Look, the right ship, at the right time, the right place finds them somehow. Who the hell knows? Doesn't matter. Doesn't move on. And we get
And
a ship.
doesn't this ship look a lot like Daedalus?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking the whole time. I'm like, I wonder if Samuel's going to call that out. But
I didn't have to. You did. You dick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine. Well, it's Daedalus meets Nostromo. If you look at those back engines, there's literally the same engine module. We did a mission briefing. It's the exact same thing. It's a real hybrid. Like, it's actually quite a nice looking ship. I mean, it's weird, but it's actually a well designed ship. Just very hybridy of other things. It's cool though. It's very un-Orville, which I quite like.
Again, it's more of that Star Wars vibe.
But not. like it's the Greeblies of Star Wars, and yet the design of other things they've sort of put together. And so and they I like that they get the guns, like, we're gonna fight our way out. Like, it's a good set of scenes, and then it's Kelly and the whole team. That was easy.
Yes.
And maybe the best costume choice in any recent TV show.
For who?
You know for who.
I disagree, and it's the whole it's the whole divide. Hey, I'm one for what we're talking about here, but it's the whole divide and conquer being quite clearly fake, and obviously having rib cage between doesn't work for me. They need to be pressed together.
Being obviously fake.
Oh yeah, they're fake. She's had a boob job for sure.
Oh.
If you look back at her older self, she's had one, and it's they don't sit together the way they're supposed to. But that's not that I'm an expert on such things, and we shouldn't talk about that. Fleetpaw Swiftback puts in $1.99.
Thank you.
Twinkies are okay, but I like Nutty Buddies better. Never had a Nutty Buddy, so I don't know. But yeah, Sylvia and I had quite a discussion about her chest, so
okay.
And we even looked it up, did research.
Oh, good. And this is when we sort of, I think in retrospect, you realize that this episode it's not interested in telling you a full story. It needs to get you to the end. And it's giving you the cliff notes. The whole team's already together. She's already got the plan. We just have to get there. And there's no room for anything else. Literally anything else. And that's where it's a real missed opportunity for me, because this universe is really interesting, really different. The Kaelons have destroyed everyone. And all we really get is this very small story of, let's go get the syringe, let's go to the Orville, let's get it back. That's the story. There's nothing else. You know what I mean? Where's the Krill Rebellion armada they have to get into and then sacrifice it all to defend Earth, like a la Twilight from Enterprise, where they get Archer back in time and all the ships get blown up and the bridge gets blown up. Something like that, really heartfelt like that. I think that was actually much better done parallel universe. I thought that was expertly done as a piece. Very similar episode actually. This one, it doesn't embrace its universe, because I think it's like we haven't got time to explore it. So it doesn't. And then those CG sequences, the chases, they're just to fill in time, because we can't explore anything bigger. Do you know what I mean? Am I coming from an okay place here?
But they do kind of clarify that Earth has been, and all the life on Earth has been, so they do kind of go into it a little bit.
But it's more just exposition rather than any actual story stuff. It's just like,
okay, yeah,
like
true.
It sets the playing field, but we don't see anything or get into anything except this teeny bit. But the thing is, I get why that makes sense, because Kelly has been, as soon as things went to hell, she's like, well, I gotta fix it. I know exactly who I need. Like, it makes sense. She's had this hindsight. So that's fine in concept. Just again, would have been nice to have seen more. Like I said, two-parter. Need to be a full two-parter where you do cool things. Like, you go to maybe it's a ridiculously quick callback. Maybe you go to the Briar Patch planet with the Mocklans, and it's men and women together, and you see, like, well, when the universe gets destroyed, men can accept women. Yay! And they follow them there, and there's this massive epic battle of the last ships, because you've got, like, one ship from each race. There's the last surviving planet in the galaxy. Something really apocalyptic. And then it's, linked to earlier stories, and you get old characters back and make this one big last stand. So stuff like that, I kind of wanted bigger stakes shown.
Yeah, but I think too much exposition, we would have been complaining about that. Like, we don't need everything explained. It's just a lived-in universe. Things just work because they work, and they are the way they are because the way they are. So yeah, it's a kind of a fine line you're skirting there.
Hence why two-parter would have been really, really good, I think.
Yeah. Craig Ken puts in $2 Australian.
Thank you.
The leather theme is a great stab at Star Trek. Yeah, leather everywhere. Even when Picard became the mercenary on the one ship, and he was wearing the kind of,
Yeah.
No, it was good seeing everybody back. Yeah, it's kind of convenient that everybody's still alive. I always find that funny with these alternate realities and stuff.
Oh, and no one's scarred by it. Had you noticed how everyone's exactly the same? Another weird, like, we can't get into it. Gorn's exactly the same. They're all, like, everyone's dead,
Yeah.
guys. Why are you all the same? Again, they couldn't give us that stuff. Even Kelly, who's had different 7 years, is the same Kelly. Which I find kind of weird. She really plays the same Kelly from the future, the present.
Mm-hmm.
Again, nothing's really, even Ed is identical.
Well,
didn't get captain, didn't get changed. Like, a lot has changed. 7 years of different universe and everyone's dead.
Kelly kind of makes sense somewhat, just because she's already met her future self, so she knows how she acts in the future.
True.
But there would be a little bit more guilt there, I think.
Oh yeah, actually that's a good.
So.
Yeah, that didn't quite come through, did it?
No,
but I think she's too focused on trying to change it than actually being guilty about it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Take over for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay, but I certainly liked their very aliens. I like that she built some sets, so it's really just 3 rooms. But I like the very aliens look here. I like the room, sort of gaming chairs. Fun indeed. I mean, it's not very interesting, but at least they did it. Oh, and yeah, as Stuart was mentioning, glad everyone's alive. I'm glad the kid's still alive. You can see him here, the 2 kids. And then they, are they going to Earth? Is that the next step? Yes, so they have to go and get the Orville, because the Orville has the Isaac, which has the information for the time device. Because I guess mostly things happened the same. Take the time device, which they can then get not Kelly back, get Claire back, get the mum back. Look at that great team shot. And she can then. Well, they explained that Kelly should have forgotten, but didn't, because the mind wipe wasn't successful, because she has like a deficiency on her protein, so she remembered. Just saying how it's not Kelly going back to change Kelly, it's the Doctor going back to change Kelly, which I was surprised that she was suddenly given that huge focus. Don't know about you.
I don't know how I was surprised, but it worked for me. It was fine.
Yeah. But normally in these sorts of time travel conceits, you bring the other her back to talk to other her.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, not doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I seem to remember Claire mentioning something about her being with Isaac and the boys getting to know Isaac as a father, and then the Kaelon thing happened.
Well, the fact that Isaac is still on the ship, still knows about the time device, and it's still finished enough to go get it, implies that everything pretty much happened the same, even without Ed in charge.
Except for Ed and Kelly, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess it all happened the same. Ed wasn't that important to anything. I don't know.
That kind of makes sense in a way. I just want to make sure I heard that correctly, because later when they do find Isaac's head, there's a shot of the kids, and it's kind of like Claire like touches their heads and stuff, like,
I think it's not meant to matter. Again, there's so much we have to get to A, B, and C. We can't focus on anyone else doing anything.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. It's just really too single-minded, I think, is the word.
Number one special puts in $2.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's not no one special. It's someone very special. The only real change is in the last month. Yeah. Yeah, they make it seem like the only real difference is after the Kaelon infiltrate Earth defenses because of the Orville, which wouldn't have happened. Ed was the one that stopped that. So,
well, you say that, but 7 years of difference, because now Kelly and Ed aren't together. They've completely different postings, so everyone they deal with is now different. Gordon is now different because Gordon doesn't have to put them back together. So their relationship is completely different over 7 years. Kelly might be a captain now. That changes how she's now got a new ship that she didn't have last time, and she's making first contacts. All the missions Ed went on that he didn't go on, the other captain didn't go on. So I think it's more ripples than you'd think. How he treats Bortus to not, even so much as that last episode with the Bortus people, maybe the not Ed captain said, Bortus, it's fine, we won't go tell them. And that changed into, I guess that was after the Kaelon. But you know what I mean? Things like those incidents would have catalysted, and it would change things, and maybe there would have been 10 less ships to battle or 10 more ships, or, the fact that, they said that Claire wasn't on the ship because she only went on the ship because Ed needed her. Like, the crew wasn't assembled, so now it's not just that, it's the crew that Ed personally assembled is now doing other things, changing their lives. So I think it's 7 years of that.
Yeah.
Every single place Kelly was, she's no longer in the timeline. She's now in different places, and now all the people she's changing and affecting. So I think it's a lot more changes than just that. But obviously, galactic stuff, it won't change the Kaelon. But it's yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, then there's the Resistance that they got to go see.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. They didn't go to Earth. Went to Green Planet number 2.
And straight out of Return of the Jedi. Knock, 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 knock.
I don't know how I feel about that. What do you think?
I thought it was obviously intended to be a reference to that, so I think it's kind of like a parody almost. And again, as I said, there's a lot of Star Wars in this. Even the music has a very Star Wars-like vibe, like very much so. So I thought it knew what it was doing. It's not like they aren't aware of what that looks like or what that is implying. So I thought it was well done. I kind of liked it. It was a nice change of pace. So
I thought it was a bit too far.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's not subtle. It's not particularly clever. Like, if the Kaelon were there knocking, they just shoot his face limb. You know what I mean? Just use a probe. It's just a bit too far. It's funny, but it wasn't played even as funny as it could have been. Although I like John, I like him saying, I got shot recently and I lost half my memory, and it's funny. But again, Lamar, he doesn't quite do humor right. He's not a comic actor, and so him playing off, he's not very good at playing off in that respect. He's a good straight man. He's a good friend. He's a good saying weird shit, but he's not a good comedy actor. He didn't quite bounce off Yaffet, I don't think. And then we get a very Hoth style bass, super Hothy, and then we get a Alara Ratan, is that name? Catan has reappeared, which I knew she was reappearing. That was spoiled for me, unfortunately. But really, she's in it so minimally, it makes no difference. What did you think?
Yeah, it was nicely played that she was there. It was nice to see her again, obviously. They mentioned her shots to help her with her gravity issues, which was, again, a nice tie-in. And the fact that it wasn't overdone as far as her being there, it was very subtle. I liked that. Don't dwell on it. Don't have her join the team. I mean, it would have been cool either way, but it was kind of like a one-off. Like, hey, how's it going? Bye. I thought it was done very well. So,
although they kind of missed the opportunity of having both of them together in the same, having dialogue. Because I think we'd all love to have seen what it'd be like to have the two security chiefs actually have a conversation. Yeah. Because obviously in that version of the timeline, there was no I got replaced. Although I don't remember if I think she was assigned to Orville specifically just to kind of get her out of the way or give her a good assignment. So Ed didn't ask for us. I think she would probably be on the Orville either way, so she probably had to go home either way. Is the vibe I got.
Well, but see, she might not have been assigned to the Orville, because the reason they put her on the Orville was because they didn't have a lot of faith in Ed, because Ed was recommended because of Kelly knowing the Admiral, and they didn't have a lot of faith in him, so they put her on that ship as the loser ship. Whereas if Ed wasn't in charge of that, she could have been on another ship, is all I'm saying.
Yes, but Lamar is totally I thought it was really weird, he's totally flirting with her, we obviously dated.
They had a relationship for sure with her one line. Yeah.
We were a thing in this universe, so that implies either he was in Orville with her or not. They had to have been in the same ship for that to make any sense. So I'm guessing.
Or they could have met at the academy and then had a long distance relationship on another ship. It's hard to say, but yeah, they obviously knew each other.
But then they would have had that. I doubt Kelly and Ed's one change would have meant they went to the academy at different years and met each other in the hallway. Like that would have been a bit weird. Like I feel like a bit far back for that, or too recent. But it's a weird detail to give. It's like we were clearly dating at one point. It's like what? Okay. But yeah, I think, like I say, it would have been nice to have the sort of last stand sacrifice. No, when you know it's parallel universe, you can kill everyone. It's fine. Parallel universe. So it'd been kind of nice to have like the two of her race going down together, shooting, punching, with their strength, and then getting killed. Rather than just her popping in, being a leader, even though she's feels a little bit too young to be this sort of experienced leader. Doesn't quite, like, she always felt a bit young, but she's also inexperienced. But she feels too in an experienced role for me. Like a little bit.
I would agree.
Does it well though. Give her total credit. She played it really well. But it would have been fun, I think, to have her on and have her get killed and have a cool standoff. But yeah, they get the vial, easy peasy. The Kaelon are here. We get a very ineffective shootout that falls flat. For me, it's like they shoot and they die, and they get shot and they die. It's like, I mean, don't care. Who are these?
And
people?
they very easily kill the Kaelon aboard the shuttle.
Yeah,
just no threat at all. So
it's weird. Again, these whole scenes have just been cut out for more like stuff, deeper stuff, or like leave it all for the Orville. Because I love what you said at the start. Have the Kaelon actually track Ed the whole time, and then when they go to the Orville, they get them. Because that would be the good point to get them specifically around Earth, and then you could have this really cool like around Earth battle, and you have the wreckage of like the starbase and yeah. But anyway, so they get bloody up. There's this Kaelon, which is very random, and he sucks. He really sucks at killing them. They get the drop on him, so I get the drop on them. Weird.
So they rescue the shuttle. They have another chase through asteroids again. I was going to say more Star Wars-like, but at the same time, it's very Orville-like at this point because it's becoming an Orville trope with the asteroid fields. They tend to overuse that effect even early in the season and stuff.
Yeah, it just didn't need two this episode, let alone one last episode too, because these ships are also boring. The Kaelon ships are boring,
Yeah.
We know they can defeat them instantly. We know they should be faster. We don't know how good the ship is. Like, there's no real stakes to this. I don't know. I think it's just filler. Honestly, effect heavy filler, but
yeah,
it's cool, but it's just not. The next bit's interesting.
Oh yeah, actually, this is the scene that's exactly like the Millennium Falcon escaping from the TIE fighters, flying sideways through the cavern. Yeah. I thought that was earlier, but it is here. And yeah, then this whole black hole thing. If we sit just within the event horizon, it's like, what? I mean, I'm sure there's some scientific reason that this worked. I can understand them not being able to be seen because of the distortion of light and all that, but why are you not getting sucked into the black hole? I'm very confused by this. And the time dilation thing, too, with the Kaelon looking for them. And again, they did a very thorough search. One even sits there and stares at them for a while.
Yeah.
And then takes off. It was really interesting the way they did it, but it just confused me. Like, why are they not getting sucked in?
It was super out of left field.
Yeah.
And it was a hard left. And it's like, holy shit, this is the most powerful gravitational force in existence. And they literally, without breaking a sweat, say, oh yeah, we'll just park inside it for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Our shields in a cargo ship will hold. I mean,
then fly away. Just fly away from it with no effort.
We've just raised the tech level in Orville to like... I mean, this universe is infinitely stronger than Trek tech. I mean, my god. That ship is amazingly powerful. Holy hell. I was literally, I was blown away. I was like, this is not... What?
Yeah.
It's absurd in a cool way, but it's absurd.
Everything made sense except for that. Like, being able to be invisible within the because of the bending of light, the whole time dilation thing, it all makes sense based on scientific principles, but I didn't understand how they could just sit there and then fly away without having any exertion on the ship.
I mean, because also if you don't even know what happens when you go into a black hole. Apparently nothing. You just sit inside the event black hole. It's like, but no, what?
Yeah.
And it's. I mean, literally. it's weird because in a later scene, the shuttle gets into the depths of the sea, and they're like, we can barely take it, and yet they're in a black hole. Like, a black hole, not a problem. A bit of sea is worse than a black hole. Damn it. So it's very, 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 very weird. It's really awesome, but it absolutely. I mean, in the Orville, this cargo ship could destroy anything in the Trek universe because its shields will hold. Like anything.
And Joseph Petrick puts in €2 and says the black hole science was correct in theory. Yes, all of it was, but I just didn't understand the whole not being able to easily escape it. Everything else, like I said, made sense, but
it just even if the science makes sense, it relies on a thing that is so infinitely advanced. Like, I couldn't see a Borg cube doing this. Even the Borg Queen's diamond ship wouldn't go to a black hole. Like, we never really dealt with black holes in the Trek universe.
Not really,
because they're just fucking. But Time Nation's cool. I kept thinking the Kaelons have like unlimited ships. If they think they're important, they would just keep a ship there forever. Like, I was like, I was waiting.
They don't need food. They don't need anything.
Yeah, I was waiting honestly for them to be like, look at the counter and say, 10 years have passed, 30 years have passed, 100 years have passed, like something ridiculous in a black hole, time dilation, and then be like a 2,000 years in the future, and then they give up and they come out and like the universe has changed and now we get this radical shift. I thought that'd be really cool, but I guess nope, just move on. So it's a bit weird, bit easy, and they escape and they get to Earth.
Yes, before they get to Earth though.
True.
They have the Kaelon, which they talking about accessing Isaac's memories because Isaac was dismantled, and then Kelly and Ed have a well, I'm technically right, have a second date, which is kind of nice.
What did you think? What did you think of it though, as a scene?
I thought it was really well played, actually. I didn't think it was out of place. Because considering they might die any minute, I thought I liked the way it played out because they were obviously meant to have a second date, so why not take advantage of it? I mean, I'd probably do the same thing in Ed's position. So
yeah, I'm so torn because it's lovely, but how the hell is Ed so chipper when everyone he knows is dead, and the Federation is dead, and he's scrounging to live? I mean, he's so unfazed. I just don't buy it. Like, it's like Year of Hell happened, and they're all walking around in completely clean uniforms, just having a chat about Neelix's crappy cooking, and the ship's blowing up around them. It's like, please lean into the situation a bit more, guys. Stop ignoring it, please. It just felt really out of. It's just like, don't make such high stakes if you're not going to use them. It's weird. It's a bit weird to me.
And Raj says, yes, Romulan ships use black holes for power generation. Yes, they use singularities, but they're
artificial.
Very artificial. They're very small and they're contained.
Yeah. Designed and created to be controlled. Bit different. Yes.
But yeah, then the plan is to get to Earth, find the Orville, which crashed in the ocean, and get a hold of. I guess I lost this part of the plan. They need to get a hold of Isaac's consciousness, which was downloaded in the computer.
No, they need to use the because the Kaelon obviously super advanced. They live they live as they are, but they can connect to this big Wi-Fi of Kaelon, and they can use the damaged Kaelon to connect to the Kaelon Wi-Fi, and then download the Isaac Kaelon, put him in the brain of Air Kaelon, and then use the data. I mean, it made total sense. It was absolutely fine to me.
Minder115 puts in $2. Did they use Moon to make those craters on Earth? Did they use Moon to make those craters on Earth?
Yeah, damn, look at that moon. That was a cool shot when they flew through the moon being destroyed. That work was real cool. I'll give them that.
Oh, yeah.
I remember seeing Earth March. Oh, yeah. Jeez, yeah. Yeah, yeah. They blew that place up. And so, yeah, they have a trouble getting down to the ship because black holes, like I say, are really tricky or really easy, sorry, but water's really difficult. But luckily, Stuart, even after 7 months and a big battle and the Kaelon trying to kill everyone, the ship is perfectly fine. I mean, it can't FTL probably, but it's still on. Perfectly fine. It's like, really?
Well, when I saw the lights on, we were kind of like, Savannah and I were like, well, that's kind of odd. But then I'm like, well, it's got pretty much unlimited power generation with the quantum drive or whatever. So as long as it was left that way, really, it could last for hundreds or thousands of years with the lights on. I didn't think there was anybody aboard until later, and then I'm like, ooh, is it Bortus? And sure enough, it was. So that was good to see.
He's the only one not in the crew right now, so it made sense. But we got the famous pickle line. We had a different jar of pickles being opened. That was a good call back. But again, I thought it was really easy. I guess that Bortus has been fixing it for 7 months. I buy that totally, because what else are you gonna do? The ship's a bit damaged. You can do a lot in 7 months.
Yeah.
But I wish he'd said that. Like Lamar could have said, because he also gets quite a lot in this episode as well. He could have said, "Damn, Bortus, she was falling apart when I left." "Yes, I fixed it. I was very, very bored." "Good job, man." That would be nice, but whatever. It's an easy episode. Everything's a bit easy in this episode, except the water.
Yeah. Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $1.99 and says Kaelon Wi-Fi sounds a lot like the Dalek Infonet.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole accessing their network thing seems sketchy to me, because even today, like, you can tell when you can trace somebody that does that. So I'm assuming the Kaelons would be able to as well.
And they did.
I just thought they did.
Didn't take very long.
Just it wasn't really brought up. And I just thought, wow, that's kind of a silly thing, but.
And they say 9 months. Oh, and Bortus doesn't need rations. Yeah, that's a good point. He doesn't need as much food.
Mm-hmm.
Although if he has to piss again, he can't go back home for the ritual. And I thought,
it's true.
Damn, it was sad though, and I was really surprised that he hit this straight away. That he's like, "Yes, I let Clyde and my son go back home," and it's like, "Yeah, they did." And he's like, "Oh," it's like instant. It's like just brick wall. It's like, "Nope, they're dead." And he doesn't say it in like a harsh way, but it's just like, literally, there was one bit of hope. He told you there's one bit of hope. Nope, now you're hopeless. It's like, really, dude. Really?
And is it just me, or did they, with the makeup, did they make him look thinner?
Yes, I thought that.
Yeah, that was well
absolutely.
done.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And Ian Warrender puts in £2. The Kaelon can destroy a moon, but not hit a human. Well, a moon's a much bigger target. Let's be fair.
Slightly. 6 foot versus a moon. Yeah. And they instantly go back to the day job. They're all in their old positions, and they fly. And it's relatively easy.
Yeah. Eugene puts in 750 rubles.
Thank you.
Rotating black hole has 2 event horizons. Doesn't matter. You cannot escape the outer one. You can, however, theoretically hide in surrounding ergosphere, the spatial whirlpool. Well, you'd think that the Kaelon would know that and go in and take a look. You'd think that they would have enough knowledge to do that. So, and the fact that one sat there and waited so long and then disappeared, I thought as soon as they left, you'd see one like kind of like Boba Fett style, follow the Falcon. That's what I thought would happen, and just didn't. So, kind of disappointed by that.
Like I say, it takes a very straight path where it should have had some really cool diversions.
Yeah.
So you instantly get back on the Orville, the time device is there, all the lights are working. I mean, main ones. We have a great drinking scene. I really like this scene, actually. I think it's really... It's like, well, we're gonna die, so let's just make out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't blame them, so...
No. And the Isaac Kaelon scene, also great. You all die. Shut up! Shut up!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very well done. And then the whole... Gotta send her back with the correct thingamajig to fix Kelly.
Yeah.
And I really didn't think... I thought this was going to be left in a cliffhanger. With how much time was left in the episode and what still needed to kind of happen, I didn't expect it to wrap up so quickly. I'm glad it did, because we're not sure whether they're getting renewed or whatever. And I hate when shows end on cliffhangers. But I thought they were heading that way. That was going to be a 2-parter.
Yeah.
But
yes,
oh well.
For sure. And so they're using the power of their damaged ship, all the power, so much power that it goes kablooey. The beautiful explosion. I mean, I said this before. The best thing about the battle Identity is the explosion effects. I mean, just absolutely drop dead gorgeous. But again, I was surprised how quick it all went. The Kaelons found them instantly, but also didn't destroy them. There was no battle. It was just very like, ah. Whereas the exact same thing happened in the Enterprise episode, but they're getting hit, they're getting damaged. There's a real sense of tension and pace. Here, it just kind of like happens. You know, it's not like sort of. There's so much little. Like, there's so many pieces to carry over into the next piece that they don't focus on anything enough to give it real weight.
Yeah. And then this scene with Kelly where she gets the coffee and then disappears and you see the coffee at the floor. I was like, oh, what? Shit, did she just get erased from existence? Did they really mess up? Yep. Part 2's coming up. You know, I thought it was going to be this super cliffhanger, and it's like, no, that's where she went to the future the first time.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden she is back.
Yes.
And she does remember everything, and Claire's like, just chill out, let me do this. And
she does, and Claire disappears like the Thanos snap. And the end happens, and Kelly ends on a smile as opposed to a grimace from last week, and timeline restored.
Yay.
And specifically with the precedent that it erases, if you change the timeline and rechange it, your timeline gets erased actively in the present, Marty McFly style. So I assume it should still be alive, and you'd have this interesting double story of now 2 Claires, which would be interesting. Nope. No, that's fine. But yeah, very, very simple, quick resolution, all success, and we end on we guess everything's fine or not, but probably, or not, but probably.
They could go anywhere with season 3 from here. Like, there could still be changes that happen because as a result of this, or I don't think they're going to do that, mind you. It's just going to start out everything's fine. But
so yeah, your closing thoughts paragraph on this episode and your score. I'll do mine, and we'll give a general for the entire season because we're at the end of the season now. And guys, start putting your what you think of it and your super chats. Let us know what you think as well, please. Yes. Thank you.
So overall, like I said, I really enjoyed this. The same people but in different situations, so I really enjoyed that aspect of it. It had very much like a mirror universe Orville version, which was cool. And so I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was fun. It was well paced, building on another episode. Great premise, and I think it was resolved fairly well. Again, a lot of laziness almost as far as the plot goes, just to move it along, but that's fine. I think you see that quite a lot these days, so I really don't have much of an issue with it. This one I've got to give a 9 out of 10 because I really enjoyed it. This is one that I would definitely put on my Orville top 10 list probably. It's definitely up there. It's one of my favorites, so yeah, that's where I stand with it.
Yeah, for me it's just a missed opportunity. I wanted to see more. I wanted to see the concept realised, but they didn't have the time or the money or the drive to. You know, it was just kind of like alternate universe light, because no one was really affected by it. You didn't see any of the universe, whatever. And like I say, I was really excited. I was really hopeful. And again, Mark said it was even better than Identity Part 1 and Part 2. And I'm like, no. I don't know. So for me, this is like a 6, a 7.
Oh, wow.
Like, it's fine, but it doesn't hit any boxes that I wanted to see, and I was waiting for, and I was expecting, and I was hoping for. And while everything in it is fine and some cool, it's so it's like a basic bitch episode, you know? It's just A to B to C, done.
Basic bitch episode. Oh, man.
And it wasn't even as Orville-y as it could have been. There wasn't that much humour. There wasn't that many funny jokes, even. Because they really could have taken that to another extreme. Yeah, but I mean, I think it's good that we don't agree on things. You know, we're not just one uniform. Fine, and you know, people can't say that I judge Discovery poorly. You know, I just judge them as they come. You know.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You know, whereas I thought last week was a very realised concept. That's the thing, that was fully realised and given a lot of time to breathe, and done very, very well. This didn't have time to breathe, didn't realise. It really should have been a 3-parter. The setup and then 2-parter.
Yeah, this definitely could have been broken up. Absolutely.
Because
I will agree
honestly,
with that.
you didn't need the first episode with all the B plots. I know it was a cheap one to save time. Throw that one away, throw it into the garbage, and have this be a two-parter. Because it would have been a great two-parter. Really good two-parter. Like I said, have a Krill resistance. And because it's alternate, you can play with. So you see Krill Lady. Maybe Ed, rather than just being a scavenger, is like, he's one of the... Because he's not important. He shouldn't be important. He's not, important in this timeline. Maybe he's actually dating the Krill Lady, because why not? They found each other, and that's a sign of things to come. And she's actually a Krill, like they like each other as Krill and human. As soon as everyone's dead, the time, people realise that, 99% of Krill are dead. I don't think there's a god anymore. I think we could say there's no Avis. And so now you have this great coalition of all these people, and, you could pepper in future plot lines and maybe Isaac still turned, because there's no reason... Because Claire was on the ship, I guess. But there's things you could have done. Or have, Kelly been Captain of Orville. Would have been kind of cool. Play that up a little bit. So I think two-parter just really served this one. I think more than the Identity two-parter. Because that was just kind of like one episode of setup, one episode of battle, / hostages. There was a lot less plot. This had a lot more plot, but no time to breathe. Yeah. So, the season in general, Stuart. What are your overall thoughts for all season 2 now we've watched it all and talked about it all at one point or another?
It's definitely firing on all cylinders as far as I'm concerned. It's a success. That being said, it did have a few rocky episodes in the beginning for me. They were still good on their own merits. Tackling the subject matter that was fine. It just was an odd start. And as we talked about earlier yesterday, this season was very Bortus centric, a little bit too much so. But it's not a step down from season 1. If anything, it's exactly the same as far as quality goes, maybe a little bit better. It has evolved a bit. It doesn't embrace the humor that it did in season 1 as much. They've kind of really slipped away from that, which is unfortunate.
Do you want me to quickly remind you of what the episodes were, just to try and refresh you briefly?
Sure.
So episode 1
think I'm babbling?
No, just so you can be more general as well. Yeah. So the episode 1 was the pissing one. That was all about pissing, but it was just about people talking.
The Geloja.
Which introduces the Krill Lady. Episode 2 is porn addiction. Enough said. Episode 3 is home. That's Alara going home. All that stuff. Good episode with Robert Picardo. Episode 4, nothing left on Earth except fishes, which is the Krill Lady being revealed and the whole planet thing. Episode 5 is All World for Birthday Cake with the people on the planet and the murder spree. Episode 6 is Happy Refrain. Yes. Oh, then the Isaac love story episode. Episode 6. And then episode 7, Deflectors, which is the straight... No, the gay Mocklin, because he likes girls. Identity Part 1, set up. Identity Part 2, payoff. Blood and Patriots, which is... Oh, the suicide bomber dude at the end. Krill Killer.
Yep.
Then Lasting Impressions, which was reviewed with the lady from the past, Sanctuary, the Bortus people, and then these two. So that's the season.
Yeah. And as I was saying, I mean, they've all been very good, consistent quality across the board. I think there was no real misses for me. There were just a few that I didn't enjoy as much as, and they started off on the wrong foot. I think the first 2 episodes, I think, were kind of missteps. Those should have been more in the middle and spaced out, not side by side. But
yeah,
that's just my opinion. I'm looking forward to season 3. It's been consistently good, if not getting a little bit better storytelling wise than season 1, but they need to focus on some more of the characters. Other than that, I would say that I've really been enjoying Orville as a whole. It's the quality's still there for me. So
I think season 2 is a little bit too TNG story ripoff. A little bit more. I mean, over half of them are literally just carbon copies of TNG stories. Season 1 wasn't as much. So I think that has been a part of this one. I think it needs slightly more original stories for season 3. Like, they've done the safe stuff, do something new. While they've all have their own merits, I think them being a little bit too safe, and therefore the story, if there's no jokes, because the jokes are so much removed this season, and the story is just a TNG clone, then what are you getting new from it? It might be good, but none of them stand out. I mean, I already forgot a couple of them. You know, for me, the best one out of the season, hands down, having looked at the list, is the Isaac love story one, because it's a perfectly written episode, perfectly written. I mean, again, super clear, but Isaac's so good in it, and just the twists and turns, and then being up together at the end, just perfect, because it's so Orville. Like, that's such a good piece of sci-fi. You know, hands down the best one for me of the entire season. While there are better moments in other episodes, I think that's just the best one for me. But I just want more jokes. I want more Orville humour from season 1. I want slightly harder hitting stories. You know? Yeah. Basically, it's still good TV, just not new enough. Because they've lost so much of the Orville-ness that now it feels just more normal. It's just more normal TV sci-fi. Except like Porn Addiction episode, that's like, whoa! But that was, I think, that was meant to be the one from season
1, yeah.
Yeah, which fits. It is the most radical out of all of them.
Yeah.
But that said, the crew is great. I mean, the crew is all great. Such a good cast, such a good crew. The replacement Alara was excellent. She did such a good job. You know, the cast is almost the best bit. You know, they're all unique characters. You like them all. You care about them all. It's, You know, and the universe is great. The races are great. Like,
plus a lot of ship porn. There's a lot of great CG in this as well, which is fantastic. Eugene puts in 670 rubles and says, I see 67 likes. Blah. 8.5 out of 10, both episodes. By the way, my like disappeared after I refreshed the page. Ooh. So if anybody out there refreshes their page and their like disappeared, hit like again. Yeah. Let's get those likes up.
Yeah,
and then Generation Production says, hey, Stuart, are you guys going to do an Orville all ships in the season 1 and 2 review of all the ships? We reviewed most of them when season 1 was happening. Every time there was a new ship, we did that. That Fleet Yards at some point will look at these ships. I'm sure.
Yeah, we didn't get any. Sorry,
I was going to say we might do an Orville live talking about the ships. That might be a good idea.
I mean, we did do, like I said, episodes, and they weren't particularly well viewed. You know, most people didn't seem to care. We enjoyed doing them, but we did do an Orville. Did do live a couple of weeks ago, looking at the alien ships of Orville. Discussing ships of Orville live. So we looked at everything that wasn't the Orville. So we'd pretty much done most of them at this point. And in season 2, we had one new ship and one new shuttle. So it was very, like, we got gorgeous Orville herself shots, beautiful, but we got 2 new ships. And we know nothing about them, so there's nothing we can really do on them, you know. I mean, that's the problem compared to Star Trek. You can't extrapolate because they just are, you know. It's tricky. We got a new starbase. That was a good starbase, although you don't like it as much.
No, it seemed a little too kit bashy for me, but that's okay.
There you go. So yeah, guys, any closing thoughts? Any more super chats would be appreciated. Let's try and get another $20. Would be great. That'd make all the difference. And ask some questions in this final sort of themed thing.
Yes. Are we gonna make an Orville fan film soon? Oh.
I wish people would, but yeah.
Easy way to it's an easy one to jump into. It's a new universe. You can pretty much do anything you want.
Yeah, I mean, I already know where to get some of the sets. I already know the CGI we've got. I mean, it's not difficult. But you know, yes. Someone said, "What do you think or hopefully for season 3 and beyond? What do you think, Strip?"
Well, we've kind of discussed that the last night, talking about laying the framework for some of these, like the Moclan females, whether that's a genetic abnormality, whether it's evolution, whether it's some kind of way to weaken their population. It's an outside influence, some enemy of the Moclans. So there's lots of possibility for storytelling in that regard. I would like to see more of the Krill and the Union trying to work together and maybe having some issues that way, maybe some exchange programs, a human serving on board a Krill ship, very much like Riker going over to the bird of prey. That kind of thing would be interesting. And just some real tension as far as that relationship goes with the Krill and the Union. They need each other. There's tentative steps towards peace, but still some conflicts here and there would be great. Other than that, just more of the same. I mean, Seth's been doing a pretty good job as far as storytelling goes and ideas. I mean, yeah, some of them are kind of ripoffs, but how many new ideas are really out there? I think he does a good job of kind of making them his own kind of twist on them. But that's what I kind of hope for season 3. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's just more humor. It's some more ridiculous plots. I'd appreciate those taking to the extra extreme, because the thing about a new show is that if the world building, it's only unique because of the world it's in. And you've got the Krill, you've got all these different races. You can tell stories that you can't tell anywhere else by telling them with these characters. What is a Lamar episode? Just literally have an entire episode where it's just engineering with Lamar and his maybe girlfriend being clingy and using like Orville spy technology to infiltrate. Maybe she gets a shrink ray from an alien that she buys 2 episodes earlier, and she shrinks, and then she's in his hair. And, like you can make like silly things that are character based, or like she pays Yoffit in special gel that he thinks Claire's gonna like him for, and then the office is her spy, and random there you go. There's a plot. Ant-Man meets horny Yoffit. Obviously less Bortus. He's a wonderful straight man, but too much focus on Bortus this season. Like, it's always good, but it's always too much at this point. And another episode with Ed and Gordon team up, like the Krill episode, because that was excellent on the Krill episode. That was a standout.
There's also got to be some kind of something has to give with the Clyde and Bortus relationship.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them kind of split up or something happen with that. That'd be very interesting. Yeah.
More with Alara's people would be good.
Yeah. Even Alara coming back in some capacity.
Yeah.
Dave Schroeder puts in $10. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Greetings, Captain and Commander. Well, greetings to you as well.
Greetings. Thank you. That's $10 of our 20, so only 10 more bucks, and we're happy for the night. So thank y'all.
Yeah, there's lots of possibilities for things that I'd like to see for season 3 and beyond.
I'd love to see like an Academy episode. Again, sort of take on track that way, but like Ed's brought in to be a guest speaker, and they're all like fresh faced, do the sort of what would really young teen like millennials in space Orville style be, and they've done research because they're a bit of a dick class, and they call out all of Ed's like problems, like all his bad missions. It's like Mr. What's his name? Ed
Mercer.
Thank you, Mr. Captain Mercer. Yes. What was it like when you snogged that Krill? What? And then they've hacked into special data files. They know all the stuff, and they lock the doors. They make him do, they get him by the end. He gets him by the end, and they like him, and he helps them escape like a mini invasion, or like stupid stuff like that. I think would really be good.
Yeah. And
help develop like what does Union Point look like? Like, I'd love to see a millennial class before they get trained of in this universe be dumb and fun and.
Yeah. One thing I always enjoy is a time travel story where they have to go back and interact with other episodes, like with Voyager when they had this. I think it was Shattered. I think the name of the episode, where the ship was broken up in different time zones. You see different episodes from different perspectives and having to avoid that kind of stuff. I love. So I would love to see something like that incorporated into Orville as well.
Well, they pitched it to you then. Because Ed doesn't have many episodes. We'll let Lamar or Ed use a time device. They have to steal a piece from the Orville in the past to make the present Orville work, because they're too far from home, and I guess it can just move people. And it's with the old captain. The old captain's like completely opposite to Ed, and the crew, the crew's really different, and you get a really weird vibe, or he's like even stupider, or like he was even a worse captain. Ed had to replace him because like he was really dumb. and like Ed has to be this fake officer on the bridge of his own ship, and he has to fake being an ensign, and this captain's a real dick to him. Kind of the opposite to what happened in Trials and Tribulations. You know, go up to Cisco, Cisco up to Kirk, and be like, oh. The opposite, be like, so what do you think? Get out of my sight, I'm drunk, or something dumb. I don't know. There you go. That'd be kind of fun. He knows all the things, and he leaves like a trinket for himself, and he finds it. He's like, "Ooh, this is interesting."
Yeah. Fleet Paw Swiftback puts in $4.99. Which ship is sleeker, the Enterprise E or the Orville or Voyager? Enterprise E.
Yeah, sleekness factor. Yeah, it's very, very sleek.
Mm-hmm.
Voyager's more functional, maybe. I don't know.
They all have their good points for sure. No One Special, or Number One Special, puts in $2. Love making you happy, but can't afford $10. No problem. Well, thank you for the $2. It's very appreciated.
Yes, it does make a big difference. It's now
I'm gonna
$3 away.
Yeah, I'm gonna check PayPal. Hold on here. Let's see. Yeah, we got money. Yeah. Jeff Jacobs sent $5 on PayPal. Thank you, Jeff. I am paying on faith for 100 likes. Subscribe to Trekyards and Captain Foley's personal channel as well. So thank you, Jeff.
We have the funniest moderators.
Got the best moderators, man.
Yes, and yeah, Dan 23. That's one of the best episodes of that by far. It's exactly one of the ones I was thinking of. There's so much potential. I just think they dealt with porn addiction, with gay, with non-gay love. I guess in their culture, gay because you like women. And women, like all these big issues.
There's a Rob Lowe episode with the pheromones, which made everybody horny around him, and that's what made Kelly. Yeah, I know.
That was funny. That was more silly though.
No,
I think they went for let's make it more serious this year and actually deal with real issues. And it's like there's only so much you can make a joke out of, all the men hating the women in a culture. Only so many jokes you can make with that, guys. It's pretty, yeah.
And Eugene throws in 500 rubles. Thank you very much, Eugene. Which show has a better finale, Orville or that one, Space Hike, Endeavor?
I'm guessing he means Discovery.
I'm thinking so too.
Because I googled it and there's nothing called that. Literally nothing called that in the world. That's a good question, Stuart. That's a really good question.
Which one had a better finale? I would say, honestly, Discovery.
Okay.
Just because it was very action-packed. We got to see the reimagined bridge and Pike, and Discovery disappearing into the future was cool. This one was very middle of the road, kind of mid-season TNG kind of episode. I think, it wasn't really a season finale. It didn't have that punch for me.
And it's funny, you go at 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
But that's in the context of Orville episodes, obviously. As I would do with Discovery. If it's an 8 in Discovery, it could actually be a 4 in all of Trek. Like, it's relative to its own show. It'd be unfair to rate Discovery compared to all Trek, because then you can't get to they just can't get as good. The thing is, these two episodes, call them Time Travel Part 1 and then Fixing Time Travel Part 2, much smarter in time travel than all of Discovery Season 2, sorry. Like, that time travel was all messed up and they broke it and they didn't make sense, really. This is smarter. Which says a lot, really. I don't know, I mean, the thing is, Discovery has so many good effects and so many cast members and they're so long as well, there's so much more story.
Yeah. Discovery felt much more like an event for that last episode. It felt more like a finale. Like I said, this one for Orville just seemed like a regular everyday episode. It didn't seem like anything special.
Yeah, which is also the problem I have, because it wasn't a realised concept. But I said, then Discovery also it failed to realise the concept of the season very poorly. But it had the spectacle factor. But I mean, the amount of plot holes and problems. I mean, it's such a stupid episode. Stupidly written. These are really well written.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I had to break it down, the Kelly episode is better than the season 9 of Discovery because it's smart, it's well written, it's well thought out, it's well acted, it's well characterized. Excellent. This one lets it down. But just like Discovery, the first half is all character, no stuff. Second one's no thought, all action. Put them together, it creates a better story. But I don't know. I think they're better, different. I think Orville, but mostly because the Kelly part one is really, really strong. So it kind of raises the second one up. Whereas the two Discovery parts, neither are particularly good. So neither raise each other up. It's more just a whole. But Enterprise looks nice. Blue phasers. Space Dock. Spock.
Well, I still stick by my answer. I still think
Yes.
Discovery was more of a finale than this was. So.
Yes. Well, ironically, I think that was more written to be a finale.
Mm-hmm.
And then this was written to be another one with a season 3. We'll just keep going.
Yeah.
I think it was more. We'll write like we'll have a. I mean, obviously it's written with a reset, so it's fine. But I think.
Well,
if
they do their multi-season renewal thing, which was a possibility, I can see the season finale for season 3 being a cliffhanger, much like we saw with Best of Both Worlds. I can definitely see Orville doing something like that. Basically, Identity parts 1 and 2. Just with part 1 being the ending of the season.
Well,
would be like dun 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 dun.
As Mark said, Identity was the original part 1, season 1 finale, part 1, season 2 opener, part 2. But they moved it to season 2, because they said, we haven't actually set up the Claire and Isaac stuff enough to really make it a good payoff, which is true, they hadn't. Hence they moved it. They had the great idea, but it wasn't the right time to execute it. Yeah. But still, good to. I enjoyed watching these two. I really enjoyed watching them. And yeah, so then, Stuart, we are back on Thursday for what? What are we doing?
We're going to be talking about Avengers Infinity War.
Da 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 da!
But Infinity War is old news. Yes, it is. But it's part one. Part 1, if you will, of the. Well, I guess there's going to be a part 3, I guess, as well for Endgame.
It's called Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming. No, whatever it's called. Far From Home. Have you seen the new trailer for Far From Home?
I did, yes.
So that it's kind of is a part 3, which I wasn't expecting. It's cool.
Well, there's going to be another Avengers too, apparently. So.
Well, there always is. I mean, then it can't not. I mean, there's going to be Avengers 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10.
Anyway, yes, Thursday we're talking about Infinity War, and then Friday we're going to follow that up with a talk about Endgame. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, please join us.
Hopefully
there's lots to talk about with Endgame. I don't know.
Yes, that's going to be a fun one. I mean, I haven't got images, so we just have to chat about it. I'm not going to scene by scene these. We're not going to go through. I'm not going to go ahead and get 2.5 hour screen caps. I'm not going to do that.
No.
But we're just going to have a really good chat about it. We'll be in post drop and just talk. There's a lot to talk about. I mean, this is the end of a 22 film, 10-year franchise.
So if you guys don't want spoilers, don't watch.
Yes. But given that Endgame's made like $2 billion already, hopefully you guys will be interested, and we'll join in and share the love. Because I mean, there should be a lot of Marvel love. As I said, I might do a solo Game of Thrones stream when that season ends to talk about another end of an era and see what I thought of the season, because I've been watching it and it's all right. It's letting stuff down a little bit, but endings are hard. Endings are really, really hard. There's very few shows that do endings well.
A lot of shows really mess up the ending. Yeah, they fumble it at the end.
Yeah, I mean, a good one is How I Met Your Mother. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's like the opposite to the ending I wanted. It's like, well, that's disappointing in every respect. Boo. And Big Bang Theory's ending in a few weeks. I wonder how they're going to end that. That'll be interesting.
I'm going to call something right now with that one. Do it. How much fun to get back? The very last shot of that is going to be the elevator's fixed. They all get in the elevator, turn around, the doors close, and that's the end.
Perfect. I love it. Good.
Fingers crossed. That's what happens.
No, I love it. So, or just Leonard and Sheldon make more sense, because you couldn't fit them all in the elevator. But those who started it, walking up the stairs in the pilot, or the first pilot and the second pilot, the show order, and going down would be great. But be great. Or moving out because they're all doing their own lives, and then use the elevator for the first and last time as they're moving out.
Yeah, everything's already moved. The apartment's empty. They say their goodbyes and then get in the elevator, and that'll be the way it ends. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Love it.
It won't happen probably, but.
Well, I'm wondering if there'll be a spin-off they'll announce as soon as it finishes.
Oh, I'm sure there will be.
Yeah. And what other season finales were disappointing? Again, don't spoil them, but for you, what else?
Lost.
I haven't seen any of Lost, but I've heard that as a.
I haven't seen it either, but I've heard it's really
Yeah.
bad.
But for you personally, as a fan of something.
Quantum Leap kind of let me down a little bit. It was one of the better ones though, but there was still
it's
better potential there.
Bittersweet.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Let's see what else. Nothing's coming to mind right now. Damn it.
I think Stargate had a pretty good one, but they had 2 movies after it, so it kind of had a stop and then more stops. Atlantis was very much epic, but they thought they were going to get a movie as well. Universe was an epic cliffhanger. Very, very sad. Battlestar Galactica was both disappointing and epic beyond belief. It's a weird hybrid. I really actually quite enjoyed that one. It's a very sort of movie experience as well, because it was extra long, and at that time no one did extra long. So, what other shows are there? I don't know. Firefly. The movie's great though. The movie's great. TNG's obviously a good one. I still don't like the end of DS9 really, with Cisco being a prophet and then everyone just sort of being around. It's like, this is just not.
That last episode of DS9 had like 4 really good ending points, and it just kept going. It's like, no, stop, please stop. It just kept going. There's so many better ways to end that, but yeah.
Was the Voyager ending's excellent. I mean, it could have done with one scene after the credits of like, now we're home, what do we do next? Let's have a nice drink scene. Would have been great. Or like flash forward to them at the same point in the timeline as the start of the 2-parter is, and everyone's happy and everyone's married, and that would have been nice. That would have been nice full circle. Like maybe Janeway goes to Admiral Janeway's grave that she's dug in a secret place. She's like, I'm as old as you would have been, as old as you were. Everything worked out better. That'd been cool.
Well, the ending for Alf was awful. Yeah, somebody brought that up. It was meant to be another season, and there wasn't. And then they came back a few years later with a stupid follow-up movie, which is kind of dumb. So there's been a lot that just their momentum's been great, and then they just fumble, But
yeah. Well, anyway. So yeah, there we go, guys. See you on Thursday for the Infinity War. I'm really excited for that. I'm glad it's very unusual for us. Hopefully you guys will join in. And then Endgame as well, which I think could be a long discussion if you guys join in and contribute and in all the cool ways.
That'll be a fun discussion for sure. I've seen it twice now, and lots of questions have been raised. So.
Yeah, I've watched a few videos on those because again, I think Endgame is great, but it leaves you, the more you think about it, sort of thing.
We got to enjoy for the entertainment value. Once you start breaking down any kind of time travel thing, it falls apart really quick usually.
Yeah, it's smarter than lots, but maybe not as smart as all of them.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll see you then, guys. Thanks for joining in, and those that are watching this, after the fact, hey.
But bye.
And bye. Bye, guys.